former President Trump claims attacking one of Vice President Harris's economic plans before she even unveils it today.
Kamala is reportedly proposing communist price controls. She wants price controls. And if they worked, I'd go along with it, too, but they don't work.
The vice president will detail her plan in North Carolina.
She is going to work on providing down payment assistance for first-time home buyers, expand tax credits for middle-class families, offer a larger tax credit for those who are having children, and cut taxes for those who may be having trouble paying health insurance. A lot, if not all of these ideas, though, would require Congress going to give its approval with.
Fox's Mark Meredith at the White House. The morning after 10 U.S. Navy service members were injured in a training incident at Naval Air Station Fallon. They're hospitalized in Reno, Nevada. We don't know what went wrong or how badly they're hurt. An escaped killer is back behind bars in North Carolina. Ramon Alston was captured at 2 a.m. at a hotel in Kannapolis.
Ending a manhunt that started on Tuesday when he broke away from a corrections officer while being taken to UNC Hospital in Hillsborough. Alston was serving a life sentence after being convicted of shooting a 1-year-old girl to death on Christmas Day in 2015. She'd been playing outside with her Christmas toys when she was hit by gunfire, according to her mother.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers, a woman found with Alston charged with aiding and abetting a fugitive. 4 men under arrest in Los Angeles in the death of actor Johnny Wachter from TV show General Hospital fame. 3 are facing murder charges. Wachter was shot when he came upon a group stealing the catalytic converter from his parked car in May. Those arrests hours after 5 people were charged in Matthew Perry's death.
As Matthew Perry's ketamine addiction grew, he wanted more, and he wanted it faster and cheaper. That is how he ended up buying from street dealers who sold the ketamine that ultimately led to his death.
DEA Administrator Ann Milgram,
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Vice President Harris's trip to North Carolina to detail her economic plan comes a day after she joined President Biden touting cheaper prescription drugs for seniors.
Both President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris made the short trip to Prince George's County, Maryland, to celebrate new prices negotiated for the first time between Medicare and drug makers.
And I might add, with no help from Republicans, not a single Republican voted for this bill.
That bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, advanced in the Senate only with a tie-breaking vote cast by the vice president.
In the 2 years since, we've been using this new power to lower the price of life-saving medications.
The price of 10 commonly used drugs were the first to be negotiated. Those prices take effect in 2026, saving taxpayers, the administration says, about $6 billion. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
That was the first time the president and vice president shared a stage at an event since the Biden dropout last month. In a Fox News poll, 8 in 10 voters say the president made the right decision to stop running for re-election. Vice President Harris will accept the Democratic nomination next week in Chicago, but there will be one less delegate at the convention from Missouri.
Keith Rose, a delegate to the Democratic National Convention, withdraws from that position after he was arrested and charged in connection with a violent protest last Saturday that caused damage to a fence at the Ferguson Police Department. Others are also charged, including a man accused of critically injuring Ferguson police officer Travis Brown. Rose is also a member of the City of St. Louis's Civilian Oversight Board, which reviews allegations of police misconduct. Members of that board now calling on him to resign or be terminated. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down a bit after big gains the past 3 days sent the Dow surging 1,200 points. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Crystal Lake Park Family Aquatic Center is open for the summer swimming season. Bring the whole family for a fun day at the pool. The pool opens weekdays at 12:30 p.m. and Saturday and Sundays at 11 a.m. Buy a pool membership or punch cards for savings on admission. Stay up to date on Facebook and Twitter for special days and events at the pool. Have fun and splash in the sun. Go to Crystal Lake Park Family Aquatic Center this summer. For details, visit urbanaparks.org.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Here's a look at local news. Well, the family of Sonda Massey and their attorneys pushing for legislation that would strengthen Illinois Safety Act. That legislation would create a national database for police officers that would include infractions like DUIs, the measure designed to prevent the hiring of officers like former Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson, who's charged in Massey's murder. Illinois is awarding more than $5 million in loans to licensed social equity cannabis dispensaries. Through the program, 23 qualified licensed social equity dispensaries are receiving $240,000 direct forgivable loans financed by the state of Illinois. City of Urbana and Urbana Police are offering leniency in some parking enforcements within University of Illinois move-ins. With the arrival of students, police advise drivers and pedestrians to get familiar with Urbana laws around campus. From 6A on August 18th through the 25th, their Parking Enforcement Division will not enforce restricted areas of the campus district. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
I'm going to assign Greg Solye to kind of be my meter maid for the weekend here at the University of Illinois.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, you walk around and we'll give you a badge or something and you just, hey!
On the parking?
We were at O'Hare Airport with a busload of travelers.
Oh, man, I would hate that job.
And so we pulled up to the curb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's a circus.
Yeah. Right. Police officer, she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "We're just unloading. Can't do it." Well, I got to. I said, "Can I just drag those luggage and we'll just go really fast?" Can't do it. Well, I have. Okay, you got a couple minutes. So I got.
She did.
I got underneath the bus and started throwing luggage.
Okay.
And I was
they move things along, and they're not there to make friends.
Yeah. Well, and they have to get the job done. But anyway, so I was a sweaty mess, but we got it done.
Let me promote Midway Airport. Trust me.
Yeah, no, I've been through there quite a bit. Yeah. It's a little congested on Cicero. Is that?
But if you can get through that, and they had been doing a little construction on some of those parking ramps to get in there, but that's the way we go. I tell you, Troy, we try to avoid O'Hare at all costs.
Well, try to grab a little Southwest out of Midway or something. But anyway, this is not the day to drive down 4th Street, people.
People are unloading.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
to move in,
and we're thankful that they are here.
Absolutely,
man, because. We are not the same without 50,000 bright-eyed students. Mm-hmm. And by the way, Mr. Gregg, you can drive.
Yes.
You want to just come up and drive down Green Street and look around and say, why are 14-year-olds allowed to go to college? I mean, because that's what they look like.
Yes.
They look like they're 14.
Looking a little younger these days.
I mean, they're just children.
Or are we looking older?
Well, I had the Woodstock look back in the 70s.
Never for Diane.
I had the beard and the hair, and I looked a sight, but I definitely didn't look baby-faced. But these kids, to me, I mean, I'm just looking, okay, so you're really old. You're like 21. Wow. I mean, they just look like children. What happened, man?
I think I may have gone through there when I did was over at the Hotel, did a speaking thing back last winter, and and there were just a few people kind of rummaging around. It was a winter day, but I could see on a day like today or when the weather's decent, holy smokes, it would take a while to get through there appropriately.
No, it's just what that is. But the point is, what happened, man? I mean, I was that, and now I'm the guy that you look at and go, wow, what's that old guy doing around? I mean, what happened? Yeah. I don't remember flipping the switch.
You're get off my lawn.
I know what? Well, yeah, that too. Hey, get off my lawn, man. And my dark socks are good.
Exactly.
Really fit well, and they're wool and they're comfy.
And my Bermuda Schwartz, as Finkel used to say.
Right.
It's our weatherman, meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you to get that physical done if you're in the back-to-school mode or you need the sports physical for fall sports. Just visit carl.org for a location near you.
All right, we got about an inch around here, I think. My compilation of Farmer Friends 0.8, 0.9, and 1.1.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, and just like the weather guy promised, we thought 3/4 to as much as maybe $1.25, $1.33. We had some of those slightly higher totals as you ventured over through eastern Vermilion County, right around the Danville area. Their dam site over there has 144 in the gauge. You work on westward into western Vermilion County, right around Royal, or at least slightly east of there, I should say, about 1 1/10. Let's see, this west of Willard and Savoy, 128. Willard and Savoy on itself had right on the dot 1 inch there. So as they would say, $1 million rains, although we weren't that desperate, but I tell you, that'll get us over the hump on some of the late planted varieties, especially the bean side, and a nice re-greening up on the lawns in our neck of the woods. Not completely done with the rain, a little more hit and miss stuff, and especially over the course of the weekend as we marry the upper level jet stream winds with Ernesto, going to rock the eastern seaboard with a lot of wave action. That's it. Otherwise, moving out to sea. 68 now at Willard and Savoy, 67 Rantoul, up to 85 today. Humidity in the air, still bubbling up, a couple of spotty showers and sprinkles this morning, and maybe an isolated thunderstorm this afternoon. That'll clear off this evening, turning fair in 67. Partly sunny for the weekend, much of it dry the afternoon and early evening, maybe a stray isolated shower thunderstorm. 82 tomorrow, 60s tomorrow night, just 79 on Sunday, and upper 70s. Delightful weather Monday and Tuesday, back into the low to mid 80s next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and dry weather ahead for the work week next week as well.
We got a wedding week from Saturday, so we got a wedding week from Saturday.
I'm on for seasonal temperatures, dry weather, highs probably somewhere a little bit north of about 80.
Right,
how's that for a wedding forecast?
Darn good.
Yeah.
Okay, my friend, you the man. Greg Solier, our meteorologist.
See you next hour.
You betcha. Friend Greg Solier, very good at what he does. All right, 7/12. It is what day? Friday. Hey,
it's a little easier on the wedding when your son is, taking the vows.
It is not. There's a lot, but not like it was for Gracie.
Right.
There's no doubt.
It's Riley's parents that are going through the
we got Christian.
We've got another list over here to conquer.
Christian and Riley getting married a week from tomorrow. I'm father of the groom.
Yes.
This time.
And
that was 9 months ago. We were. I don't know, man. I'm just in constant awe of the speed of life, and it's stunning to me because what I don't know, and somebody gave me this analogy how fast life goes, and the quarter or penny that you put in the big yellow vase and it circles around.
Yes.
And then it gets real fast toward the end. I think I'm near the end.
I see.
That's what I think I am.
It's going faster and faster now.
Yeah, but why? Because it should go really fast when you're so busy, but everything is a blink, and you hear old people say that, and they say, man, it really goes fast. And you're going, yeah. It really goes fast. It's just,
right.
You're in the throes of 4 children or 2 children or whatever it is, and you got 900 things going on. You can't even get a shower. It's so busy. But then you look down and there's another birthday, there's a graduation, there's a prom, there's a homecoming, you're doing pictures. Our family with our 4 children, we have moved them over 50 times. And you're going, 50 times.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't remember it being that bad. Because when you're doing soccer coaching or you're getting up early Saturday morning to go coach something else and you're moving kids into dorms and you're moving kids out of dorms and then the next semester you're doing the same thing, whenever you look at something like that and then you look back and you go, that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
That's the point where I want to be. When I saw my first 1,000 vans at Dodd Park for soccer, I just didn't want to do that. And then when it was my turn, I got my van and I parked and I did that, and that's where I wanted to be.
Get out the snacks,
that's
the
exactly
juice boxes.
Right. That's
I am
what you
good to go
do.
for this soccer parent thing.
I invested way too much in the price of soccer snacks, but we had the best, man.
Yeah.
I was a D1 program in youth soccer for the snacks, and I feel pretty good about that.
Exactly.
All right, that is worn well. It is 7:15. I am Stevie Jay. That is Diane Ducey. And we check your sports headlines
For
this morning.
August 16th, I know we're running out of time in case you want to be part of honoring Coach Shauna Green, who was, had all wins on her foreign trip with our Illini women's basketball team touring over in Europe. So it's Diamonds, Desserts, and Distinction. It's at City View on top of the Illinois Terminal. And if you'd like to go, make sure you're getting to getyourgirlpower.org for more information on that and to be a part of that night. That'll be fun on Thursday. So we also have the Illini Captains Tapped in Illinois football. I don't know if you heard about this, but the team voted for Tanner Arkin and Pat Bryant and Seth Coleman and Josh Kreutz and Dylan Rosiak and Miles Scott. Most of these guys are sophomores. There's 2 juniors, but I think it's pretty cool that we've got such great young leaders that are selected to be captains. Don't forget, this is a Thursday night against Eastern on August 29th at 8 o'clock.
That is a week from Thursday.
A week from Thursday.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
By the way, you're presuming they come back. They're sophomores. Not anymore.
Oh.
You don't know.
Well, you're right.
Football, basketball, it's a portal.
Yeah.
Swinging door. So good for them this year.
Illinois soccer beat Wright State 6-0 yesterday to open up the season. All right, the Dodgers are at St. Louis with a 7:15 start. Here's your Redbird recap.
After an off day yesterday, the Cardinals are back at tonight, and they're back at home as they open up a 6-game homestand, starting with 3 against the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Cardinals come into the series in a tough spot with a record of 60-61. They are below 500 for the first time since June. They have lost 4 straight games, including getting swept in a 3-game series by the Reds. Miles Michaelis is scheduled to start tonight for the Cardinals. The right-hander is 8-9 with a 5.30 ERA, trying to get things going in the month of August where he has struggled. The last time he faced off against the Dodgers, the first game of the season when he went 4 1/3, allowing 5 runs on 7 hits. That series to open up the year in Los Angeles was a 4-game series, and the Dodgers ended up taking 3 out of 4. After the series against the Dodgers, the Cardinals welcome the first-place Brewers in for a 3-game set. Tonight's first pitch is scheduled for 7:15. Our coverage begins at 6:20. For the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, I'm Matt Pauley.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sports.
So Toronto's in Chicago to face the Cubs with a 1:20 start over on US 105.9. Chicago White Sox have a road trip going on, and the first stop is in Houston to take on the Astros at 7:10 this evening. Preseason NFL action, Philadelphia over New England 14-13. Our Chicago Bears hosting Cincinnati tomorrow.
Yep. And it's on Q96 again at 10 in the morning. Q96, 10 in the morning. Noon is the kickoff, kind of like it was last week. So Q96, 96.1 FM is your home for the Chicago Bears. And we're hoping the Bears will continue at undefeated and untied.
I have some friends going over to Indianapolis to see the Colts face the Arizona Cardinals.
Weather brought to you by Urbana Park District.
And they remind you they've got Vulcan Roots with the lunch bag being taken to the lake house today. From noon to 1, you've got a performer. Details at urbanaparks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana this Saturday. As expected, overnight showers and thunderstorms, leaving 3/4 to as much as 1/3 of rain in the gauge. That activity across Indiana. Still a little instability making its way across the area this morning. Again, this afternoon, ahead of a weak cool front that will ultimately drop temperature and humidity levels back down, but not before a couple of outbreaks of moisture in spots for the weekend. Again, a shower thunderstorm chance back in this afternoon as well. Partly sunny, somewhat humid, 85 and a southwest wind. Isolated shower thunderstorm chance this evening, becoming fair in the overnight down to 67. And tomorrow and Sunday, partly sunny skies. Again, for the afternoon, can't rule out a stray shower thunderstorm. 82 tomorrow, 64 tomorrow night. The Sunday high cools to 79. Upper 70s with sunshine back in. Dry weather, comfortable humidity Monday and Tuesday. Up near 80 on Wednesday. Into the lower 80s next Thursday and Friday. And much of the work week next week is high and dry. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Beatles, Greg Solier.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Kroger is promising it will lower prices by $1 billion after its merger with Albertsons closes. It was previously pledging to cut prices by $500 million in Albertsons. The deal continues to face challenges, including several antitrust lawsuits. Pfizer and BioNTech are reporting promising results in their combo flu COVID shot for people aged 18 to 64, though it is being adjusted to improve its protection against the flu. Stellantis shareholders in the U.S. are suing the automaker, which is Jeep's parent company. They say the company failed to inform investors about inventories of unsold cars and other weaknesses before posting disappointing earnings that pushed down its stock price. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
I'm Dana Perino, co-host of The Five and co-anchor of America's Newsroom. Join me for my brand new podcast, Perino on Politics. Listeners of Everything Will Be Okay will gravitate toward this podcast too. Every Monday, I'm going to talk to people I trust in politics as they tell me what they're seeing and thinking in the 2024 election cycle. As they prep me to cover the upcoming election, they'll prep you, the voters, too. Make sure you subscribe to this series on foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts and leave a rating and review.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
Very happy and honored to have Dr. Abraham Kocherl, cardiac electrophysiology, OSF, Heart of Mary in Urbana. What is AFib?
Yeah, so atrial fibrillation is a heart rhythm disorder, and it's actually the most common heart rhythm disorder that needs treatment. So about 6 million Americans have it currently, and it's expected to increase to about 15 million by 2050. So it's a growing problem. There are lots of things that lead to atrial fibrillation, and this includes diseases like diabetes and hypertension, sleep apnea. Other factors that lead to it are an excessive alcohol and tobacco use, being overweight or obese, and being sedentary. Generally it's an older person's disease. Generally, if you have other heart conditions, it's worth looking for. So that there's a condition called heart failure, which commonly is associated with atrial fibrillation. So hopefully, if you have one of those conditions, those patients are being seen by a cardiologist, and that cardiologist is paying attention to the heart rhythm and keeping an eye on things to look for the development of atrial fibrillation.
To learn more, visit osfhealthcare.org.
All right, 723, Matthew Perry died of an overdose. He was one of the stars of Friends for so many years.
For
and
sure.
Sad story with a tremendous addiction. And now 5 people were arrested for his murder.
Right.
A couple of doctors involved. I have no idea the life in Hollywood, and I'm grateful for that because I don't think it's very good from the standpoint of who you are and the facades that are Hollywood and making it on the big screen, whatever that means anymore. Well, the Hollywood stars and the evolution, all that has certainly gone from pretty cool to really bad. It just isn't much there that is something you'd want your children to learn from.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, you have people that enable, and then you have people that give you stuff and charge you too much, and then they overdose. He had a live-in assistant.
Right.
They gave him the final ejection where he died.
This talks about manipulated by the leeches in his inner circle.
Everybody has leaches. We have people in Champaign-Urbana that have leeches. They're football players and basketball players. You can be nice and call their entourage. Right?
Right.
But they're leeches, and they hang on, and they give bad advice because they get money for it and all this other stuff. So
this story talks about the ketamine queen. I wonder
what is ketamine? It's a drug, but I don't know what it is.
Is that the one that relaxes you so that you can get some sleep? So many people feel so much stress and are not getting a good night's sleep. And I can look it up, but I just feel like that happened with Prince, for instance. I feel like Michael Jackson, too.
Well, somebody was shooting up Michael Jackson.
That they were taking something to get proper rest.
Well, Elvis Presley did all that, right?
You're right.
I think you just get wound up in things. And it just is a cycle, and then you get addicted. I've had some painkillers before in my life, and I can't remember even the name of morphine. Morphine is like you're addicted in 5 days.
Yeah.
And
I've heard that feels good.
It is an unbelievable euphoric. Right, yeah, I've had that.
Right.
And I wanted more.
That's the reason why I haven't done any kind of chemicals, because I'm afraid I'm going to get hooked. I have that kind of personality that I would be addicted.
Well, your doctor shouldn't, they gave me 2 doses of that, and reluctantly 2. And it was where I needed it for pain.
Yeah.
And it ended the pain within 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. Your whole body's good.
There was someone in my inner circle that also had an experience when they were young in life that they got morphine or something. And that's why they decided, I'm not going to get drunk or get high ever in life, because that felt so good. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
I want to be in control of my life.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. But if you've ever done that because of some injury or something, you kind of know that it is unbelievable feeling. But I think at some point you make a decision if you can't. Now, some people have a propensity for alcoholism and drug addiction and gambling, all these addictions. Yep. There's a propensity, some
you just
chemicals.
Need more.
Some chemical something.
In your brain.
Yeah, something's going on there. So you're more probable to get hooked on something like that. The last major faux pas for me with alcohol was when I was a teenager, and that was it.
Right.
I didn't like it. I thought throwing up was gross.
Yeah, it is.
And I quit.
Yeah.
I pretty much stopped. It was like, I'm going to never, I can have a drink if I want, but I just don't care for the feeling I have. Mm-hmm. I don't like that thing where you go, woohoo, I don't like that.
I went to a leadership conference, and it tapped into some of my more Christian values, and it talked about your body is the temple for the Holy Spirit, and you shouldn't abuse it. And I never really thought about that. And
there's if you're biblical and you know the Bible, you're not supposed to abuse what you're doing there.
Well,
everything in moderation is just a good rule, right?
And
everything in moderation.
For food and sweets and things like that, too. I should be watching it on all of that.
But it is obviously easier said than done.
Right.
And then we get so wound up in what we think are real problems of our life. And there's always, God, I think, puts perspectives that you somehow see whenever you're kind of grumbly about what's happening in your life. And believe me, and you hate hearing stuff like this. Well, somebody else has a far worse. I know. But the situation now isn't very good, and I got to solve it.
That's right.
But nobody wants to hear like how bad it is. But if you just ever have a chance to visit a third world country, you'll realize that whatever your life situation, are far better than 90% of the world. It is so unbelievable where we live and what we get to do. And some of the trends and some of the breakdowns of our basic morals and values and societal things that we've cherished for so long, honesty and integrity and standing up for what is right, and although they've faded the line to where you have to accept things that you're not comfortable accepting. We're going to get into all this with Brother Johnny coming up next on this Friday morning. Kamala Harris comes out with her economic plan. What does she believe? Don't look at her history. What does she believe now? We'll get into that next. 729 ESPN 93.5.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
The Girl Scouts of Central Illinois proudly present this year's Diamonds, Desserts, and Distinction on Thursday, August 22nd. This grand event will be held at the City View Banquet and Meeting Center, 45 East University Avenue in Champaign, with doors opening at 6 p.m. You'll experience delicious cookie-inspired desserts, cocktails, competition among local chefs, and the sincere recognition of this year's Women of Distinction, Illinois women's basketball coach, Shauna Green. Coach Green has led back-to-back winning seasons and the program's first championship. She embodies courage, confidence, and character for Girl Scouts to aspire towards as leaders. Funds raised through the event will support local Girl Scout programs that teach essential life skills in STEM, financial literacy, civic engagement, health and wellness, and the arts. You won't want to miss this event. Diamonds, Desserts, and Distinction, Thursday, August 22nd at 6 p.m. To support local Girl Scouts, visit getyourgirlpower.org.
Norm Miller here, chairman of Interstate Batteries. You know, without batteries, life would be pretty lifeless. That's why Interstate All Battery Centers carry them in every size, shape, and style so you can drive, drill, call, film, or do whatever it is you want to do. Stop in today. They've got the power to keep you going. Interstate All Battery Center. Outrageously dependable.
Interstate All Battery Center. You'll find them outrageously dependable just over Interstate 74 at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign, with batteries for most every application in stock.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Vice President Harris delivers her first major economic policy speech today in North Carolina will it include price controls, but it's already receiving pushback.
Even meat producers who are expected to be called out today during the Harris speech are pushing back a little bit. They say their costs have gone up on everything from transportation to labor, that's why they've also had to raise prices as well.
Fox's Mark Meredith, the White House negotiators trying to piece together a plan that Israel and Hamas can digest and bring hostages home.
Last night here in Israel, demonstrators took to the streets. These are the families of the hostages who marched, demanding that at least the Israeli government agree to this deal on the table, especially given the current political climate with Iran and Lebanon on top of the war in Gaza.
Fox's Alex Helgen reporting from Tel Aviv. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. The Monticello police officer charged with disseminating child porn has resigned from the department. Rob Ross, the chief of Monticello Police, says William Griswold submitting a letter to the department in which he resigned from his position. The resignation does not, however, waive any criminal charges that may arise from the Monticello Police Department's investigation. Champaign Park District reminding residents of their monument to honor local Olympians. Young Champaign students look forward to school year, the Olympic and Paralympic tribute located at Dodds Park, which honors the extraordinary achievements of Champaign County residents who participated in the Olympic and Paralympic Games. City of Urbana and Urbana Police offering leniency on some parking enforcements with University of Illinois move-ins. With the arrival of students, police advise drivers and pedestrians to get familiar with Urbana laws around campus. From August 18th through the 25th, their Parking Enforcement Division will not enforce restricted areas in the campus district. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. Our weather brought to you by State Farm Insurance Agent Kurt Lenschow. Like a good neighbor, Kurt and State Farm are there.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather-free Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Welcome rain in the overnight hours, leaving 3/4 as much as 1 inch and 1/3 of rain in area rain gauges. That activity off to the east and southeast, but an approaching cool front, some cooling up along should generate a couple of more outbreaks in spots this morning, later this morning, and again this afternoon. And the same will apply for the weekend. Not a complete wash by any means, but maybe a little hit-miss rainfall over the afternoon hours. Then dry weather ahead and comfortable temperatures for next week. Up to 85 today, somewhat humid, southwest wind and a partly sunny sky, and again, a couple of showers, thunderstorms breaking out, particularly as we move on through the afternoon. That'll linger into early on tonight, fair in the overnight, down to 67, partly sunny for the day tomorrow and Sunday too. Again, the afternoon features a stray shower thunderstorm, 82 tomorrow, 60s tomorrow night, will cool to 79 on Sunday. Dry weather next week at 77 to 78 degrees Monday and Tuesday, up near 80 Wednesday, lower 80s for next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
It is Friday. Brother Johnny down in New Orleans, Louisiana. How you doing, Johnny?
We're okay, Stevie J. We're just kind of clipping along here in the deep south.
Well, because of your efforts to get term limits for the state of Louisiana, and they are in full force now. This is back in the 90s. With Louisiana 96, I believe it was called.
Yeah, we started in 91, but we got the term limits by 96. The name was very prophetic. We got term limits in 1996.
Well, now, how's that worked out for you?
Well, when we saw wokeism, number one, we didn't start with the, let's just say, voter release. You know how some states suppress votes, so we have drop boxes, same-day registration, mail-in ballot. None of that. So then we got to vote. So now we may be overread. We have 2/3 majority in House and Senate Republican, and also every single state officials Republican. Kind of like Illinois, only the other way around.
Exactly.
But
it's a 180, right, or 360, or what? Complete.
But it wasn't easy to do, and in 96 they voted we're going to have term limits, but we had to let them give themselves another 12 years each.
Wow.
So we actually didn't turn it over till 2008.
Wow.
And at that point, then all the old incumbents stepped aside, and then the new people were generally much more moderate.
And how long do they get now in Louisiana?
12 years.
Okay, 12
3,
max.
4 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And that's
Then
for
they moved.
the Senate too? Senate and House?
Yeah.
Okay.
Senate and the House.
And the governor gets what, 2 terms?
2 terms.
Okay.
8 years.
So is that not possible in Washington if you do the same thing where it won't affect anybody there now?
Maybe if you give them an extra 20 years. Because a lot of the guys who were going to figured, wait a minute, 12 years, why were you dead? Okay, I'll vote for it. Because they were going to live 12 years. So that did help.
But this is a 70+% in favor of issue, is it not?
76 is what we ended up voting for, because we had to vote on it as a state, and 76% voted for term limits.
If it was on the ballot in November 5th, how many Americans would vote for term limits for our members?
75%, I'd say. 70. I would think, if it was written clearly enough.
Hear the people rule. What happened to that?
Well, they're doing it for the greater good. We don't really know what's good for us in some people's minds, and I think that's part of what the socialist movement is. The elites want to get it straight to us that we'll take care of you, but don't try to think you know what's going on, and we're going to tell you what you need to do. And if you get off your porch, we'll shoot you with paintballs. That's
what happened in Minnesota. And they shot people with paintballs who left their house during COVID.
Oh, wow.
That was our Tim Walsh, vice president candidate. He said, go shoot them with paintballs, and they did. And now, luckily it was paintballs, so nobody got seriously injured. But the idea was very offensive, you know.
What about the hotline, the snitch line that he built, too, in Minnesota?
Well, what about shooting your citizens on the porch outside but not inside with paintballs, but allowing his city to get burned to the ground and not letting the police defend their precincts? And then saying it's okay, they have a right to protest, and then saying this is what you get to the business people who lost their business or it was burned. That's your fault. You don't have diversity.
Yeah.
Equity and inclusion. This is where you're going to get. That's what you get, as if it was their fault. So yeah. But back to term limits, you do get just less of a power kingdom built by people like Pelosi. And hey, let's face it. The president of the Senate, not Chuck, but the Republican who's kind of stepping down, Mitch. That's just a power trip, and it's not in the best interest of good government.
It's Brother Johnny, 739 on the Tammons Towing phone line. Let me play a little Kamala Harris montage, and then we go to the economy that she wants to see with her economic plan that is released today. Here we go.
We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making. Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
So you're now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud that exists above us, right?
The Caribbean nations, island nations, in the Western Hemisphere. That is where the Caribbean is. We are also in the Western Hemisphere. They are our neighbors. I am here, standing here on the northern flank, on the eastern flank, talking about what we have in terms of the eastern flank. I can imagine.
It's just, I can't even take it. I can't even take it. I just can't even take it. Okay, so we're talking about now a woman who never received a vote to be the presidential candidate, right? They picked her, they pushed Joe out. We all know that. And now she's going to separate herself from the Biden-Harris. And I find it interesting that the White House said, that's lockstep. Well, Mr. President, she's going to distance herself from Bidenomics. No, she's not. She's not going to do it. That's what he said yesterday. So she's got to separate herself from the Biden-Harris 4 years in the White House. Johnny, she can't get away with that, can she?
Well, no, she can't do it either. I think you have to realize just from that montage, and people think she's a real airhead because that's what it sounds like. I think it's more that she really thinks we're that stupid. I think when she says the Caribbeans are an island nation, like you're in first grade, and she that's about how smart she thinks we are. So she made, and she's not a brilliant woman. She's not a total. Well, she might be an idiot. I don't know, but the problem that the Democrats have, they have a ticket that's really not acceptable. It's really a 70% anti-ticket. The issues come down to probably close to 70%. But about 70% of the people that you can get to answer a poll don't know a lot of the things that Kamala has done because they don't either pay attention or they're listening to some other news source.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is the same problem we've been complaining about. Social media. It works both ways. Mm-hmm. It's already out there. I think her not talking is a mistake. She's getting absolutely blasted, and there's no defense. She won't give any defense, and her staff can't cover her like she can, but then she has to get up there and start denying all the things you've got her on tape saying. And so, and that's not going to sell. And so I don't think they can pull it off. I just don't think it can be done. And if they can pull this off, Steve, they've got it set up however way you want it. We're going to have to start doing what they say, Steve, because we don't have an army.
Yeah, that's right.
I think this is our chance. You got to stand up to this. You can't have your kids turned over to the state, especially when the state's already said we might change their sex. We'll have to interview them. We'll wait till they're 5 years old, and then we're going to talk to them. If they think the guy wants to be a little girl, we'll change her.
This is it's just so crazy. It's hard to fathom. Biden-Harris accomplishments. Here we go. Allowed 10, 15, nobody has a number, million unvetted illegals into the country. Historic inflation crisis. Record high gas prices in all 50 states. Record high consumer debt. Released terrorists into the country, well, it's via the border. Ukraine-Russia war. Israel-Hamas war. Disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, which I still, from my perspective, the Afghanistan was the worst, believe it or not. Violent crimes skyrocketing. Tried to jail political rival, still trying to do that. The sentences from Donald Trump in September from Juan Marchand. Lied to the American public about Joe's decline. That's just unbelievable. How? And then they feigned shock. I can't believe. Declared war on America. Declared war on America.
I'm going to flag that one. Go ahead.
Declared war on American energy. No oil and gas, no drilling. record low test scores for K through 12 students, and really, according to the polls, most unpopular president and VP in history. And we're going to continue this? Really?
Well, we're going to see. Now, that's a long list. If you talk about inflation, and of course she's going to say she's going to stop the price gouging, which means when they shut down energy, which really is a huge driver of inflation if you can't produce your own cheap energy, because you're at the mercy of other countries making it, and then you have to get it over here, so it costs more. That was a huge, huge mistake for the average American. But they did it because of we only have 10 years, and that clock started ticking in around 2000, 24 years ago. Mm-hmm. And they're still saying we only have 10 years. So the inflation was really set up by giving up independent energy, and then they dumped $2 trillion more into the money supply after COVID, where we really did. That was part of the inflation, was the COVID money we handed out, and that goes back to Trump and Biden. But you're not going to control prices by telling the people who are still trying to produce goods they can't charge over this amount, and then make them pay, by the way, double minimum wage.
Yeah, right.
You can't. So what happened? That's the Soviet Union. They did that because they wanted their people to be able to afford the food. Guess what? Nobody could make the food, so they go to the store. There wasn't any food in the store. That's why the free market works, and socialism doesn't work, because there's no incentives, so nothing gets done. Eventually, it just grinds to a halt.
But this is her plan, right? Her economic plan is control prices?
The big corporate gouging. And, of course, the big corporations will have to put up with regulations and this and that. Guess what? They'll move up to this market space. They'll buy out that company. It's all the little guys that get absolutely run out of business because they can't handle the government interference. It's the hundreds of thousands of businesses that are the ones that you'll have the enforcement. What are you going to do about Google and Microsoft, for example, or for that matter, the big food giants? They're going to find a way around the problem, even if they have to switch into a different industry. So there's still going to be big corporate greed making money. I mean, and that's part of the not honoring antitrust. I think corporations should have to grow organically after a point. They can't just buy every little outfit to keep anything new or anything competitive.
Lack of choices also drives up prices, right?
Yeah. Now you can just charge what you want because there's no competition.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. If you had one airline, the price would be the price. That's what
you make a good point. What she's trying to do works the opposite of what she says it will do, which is make things affordable. Mm-hmm. It goes the other way. It makes it even more unaffordable. Things are unaffordable now because of what they've already done. They haven't even started with their overt social programs.
So it's Brother John, you can always text us on the Fisher National Bank text line at 217-359-2255. So if this policy continues, and by the way, I'd say the border is number one, Afghanistan two, as far as horrific. But I mean,
I think Ukraine, Steve, there's 40 million people out of a country, and that was the one that to me was one that almost certainly wouldn't have occurred with Trump. That Biden, I remember him saying, "Well, no, we probably won't do anything. We'll see how far he goes in." And then we watched the tank slowly roll for a week. Nothing. Oh, we can't do anything. Then after the country's wrecked, we start spending billions of dollars in jets. Yeah. Where were the jets 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Or whenever it started. And so that's okay. So, yeah, you're right. But if they continue, carry on.
All right, if they continue these policies, how can we brace ourselves and what can we do with what could be the same policies and maybe even worse as far as deeper they go into this failed, because history has told us it fails. Communism and socialism have failed many times. What do we do? How do we prepare for that?
Well, that's a good question. I guess I'm not even thinking that far ahead. I'm thinking they can't win. No, let's just say they win. Well, nothing's going to improve. And I think we'll have less freedom and less money. And I think we'll survive. I don't think it's the end of the world. But I think also internationally there'll be other problems. I can't imagine Kamala in any sort of productive conversation with either Putin or Xi Jinping. I don't know how to even think about what they might think of doing or what she would do about it.
I mean,
she's not going to be. Don't forget, Steve. Biden actually was around 50 years and understands the world he's in. He also agreed to be a progressive, and he generally did what was told, but he had some stabilizing effect. I don't think Kamala's going to pay attention to this group. One reason the White House says she's not dividing is they're not trying to help her with this distancing thing, and they're not really on this. They don't really want her in, but it's better than Trump for them. So she's not going to be that easy to manage. And I don't know what she's going to do. I would much rather have Joe president. And by the way, you said they lied about the decline. Maybe, but we saw it. He was getting a little worse. I did see him on his bike last weekend. He was fine. 4 years ago, he wrecked his bike.
Yeah.
I don't think he was much worse 4 years ago. I really don't. I think he's definitely a little worse. But this idea that all of a sudden they recognized it, that was just the setup. I'm telling you, you can say conspiracy theory all you want, but when you hear every single media outlet say weird all in one day, and then all of them saying joy all in another day, right. They're conspiring against us. They want their candidate in, and they decided Joe's out. And I think that all of a sudden, are you kidding? We saw him wander. Steve, we would talk about this for the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
They were the ones that were defending him for things like he wandered off. No, he didn't. Remember that?
Yeah.
The press secretary said we saw him do something, and she said he didn't do that.
He didn't do that.
No.
No, right. So
well, but then all of a sudden they saw everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't buy that I think the idea that he quote they lied to cover up. He was going bad. The reason he was losing wasn't because of his declining mental condition. It was because everything, your list that you just read off, that's really why he was losing. Mm-hmm. And Kamala will arguably make it worse. It's kind of surreal to me, though, Steve, because everybody was saying Joe had a insurance policy because nobody wanted Kamala president. And she must have stopped paying his premium.
Yeah, right.
But get this, Kamala's got her own insurance policy.
Yeah. Oh, Tim Walz. Oh my gosh.
She might be better than Walz.
No, I think she is. I mean, that's shocking to say. All right, 217 texter. Magic word is control in price control, and what the Democrats want is more control over everyone and everything.
Correct. That's basically it. Now, we spend a whole lot more time talking about why, and I don't think we know, because I have no idea why people would like to control other people to the extent they appear to want to control. I think it's a vision they have so that they can I think they're self-absorbed and want to really be someone. So they want, here's my idea, this is what we're going to do, let me show you. I don't know what the motivation is. I have the opposite motivation. Our company got up to 1,000 people. My next goal was to get back down to 0 people working for me, because I'm just. It's not that I want to boss everyone around. I just don't want to be bossed around. And I think generally a lot of people feel like that. We all have jobs. We have to be, disciplined enough to do our job and listen to whoever's the boss. But we don't like being bossed around, told and being told to be ridiculous things like stay on your porch. You're 100 yards away from him because there's a bad cold going around.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bad cold. It was 0.3% morbidity. The flu's 0.1. It wasn't 10%. It wasn't 5%. But what they did in response to it was a disaster. And so was making the virus in the lab. But what we did here was a disaster, and it did kind of give us a glimpse of what kind of control they're willing to take and what that means to our lives. And I don't think we like it.
We don't like
it. So
that
means stay away. Get Trump back in there if you don't like him. It's only 4 years. At least we'll have a closed border. You can go to the store and maybe afford something. We'll have lower energy costs. things will settle down around the world. That'll be interesting. I hope Trump wins to see if he really can help in both the Middle East and Russia, and the Russia-Ukrainian thing, and get things settled down in Asia.
Well, when you give the terrorist leaders a satellite picture of their house, they tend to respond. They don't do stuff. Trump handed the leader of whatever it was, Hezbollah, Hamas, whoever it was, maybe it was the Taliban, and he says, "Why are you giving me the picture of the house?" He said, he just walked out of the room, and nothing happened to our American troops for about 8 months after that. So it's like, I think they're afraid of him. They think he'll do something. He'll actually do something that would cause some pain for them if they mess with us. And I tell you what, I like that when we have a leader that the world leaders respect or fear.
And the other thing is, though, there's a kind of a flip side to that that's not as good a news. The terrorists or the fatwa folks, the mission, which is to take over with their religion, is a centuries-long goal. Then they know that someone like Trump, if they really aggravate him, he could set their movement back.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 years, in their mind, is not that much time.
Right.
That's all we got. That's the bad news for us, because they know that someone else will get in like Joe, and they'll be fine. But they can't end it when one guy stands up to them, because we haven't done that enough.
Yeah.
So they can wait. So it works for both reasons. When they're personally scared, and number two, the movement's better off just waiting a few years and just kind of laying low until he's gone.
Brother Johnny down in New Orleans, we'll leave it there. We had somebody tell us yesterday about Diana He said, "I've never met Johnny, but he is right on. That's right on."
Exactly.
So we appreciate
I'm
your
glad
input.
to hear that. I kind of like that guy.
There you go.
All right, we will call you next week. Get back on the horse, see what we got. Christian and Riley.
See how Eddie's event went. It was interesting.
Christian,
he had Michael Lindell, Pillowman,
Yeah.
Eddie Martin on Wednesday. See how that went. And we'll watch the convention, Steve. It's going to be, I think you'll see kind of a tie in the polls. And after that, it's called Getting on Top of Mount Everest. Nowhere to go but down. So,
well, they got Joe buried on Monday. It's like Joe will speak Monday and get him out of town.
Right.
So they got to get him over with. So that's not
and I'm not sure how that strategy, they think it's brilliant, and it's all they got. I mean, but I don't think it's.
Well,
I got their idea to get Kamala in was a bad idea.
Well, and you also have some smoke bombs going off at Kamala's event with the pro-Palestinians. I'm not so sure there won't be disruption in Chicago. I don't know.
I don't think there'll be many because she's pro-Palestinian.
Well, yeah, but they just have it. They have it planned, Johnny. They can't cancel it. They've planned this thing, man.
Well, they usually get a few bucks for the real instigators, and nobody's going to pay for it.
Okay.
And so I don't think you'll always have the guys that just do it because it's their cause and they got the bombs. I mean, what are we going to do with these? I'm not going to carry them around for 4 years. So,
man.
just stop.
All right, we got Christian and Riley a week from tomorrow getting married. Unbelievable. How fast does that go?
Yeah, Dad, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And what a great couple. Man, I'll tell you what, I plan to be there.
Yes, sir. So, you'll be in town probably late next week, maybe?
Yeah, we'll be there for the weekend.
Okay.
I'm bringing Lincoln and Lennox.
All right.
Yes.
Awesome. Johnny, thank you for the time. We went long today,
All
but
right,
good
thank
stuff.
You, Diane,
thank you.
Steve.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Have a great weekend. Brother Johnny down in New Orleans on the Tapman's Towing phone line. Okay, we'll break for the news. Come back another hour to go. You're welcome to text us, 217-359-2255. If you have thoughts on any or all of that, happy to take it. But if she's going to try and control prices, then that does the opposite of what he wanted to do, because remember, you're still paying your people $18 to $20 an hour. You can't afford to produce what you sell because the costs are too high. So it doesn't work, and we've seen it in history. That's why you study history, so we don't repeat it. So we'll get more on that as she releases that. She's got a tough, tight wire to walk here, because you got to appease the far left and yet somehow hit a moderate. And I don't think you can do it. I just don't think they're going to wink and say, hold on, I'll be there for you, but let's get through November.
I'll be praying about everything, Stevie. Our election's coming up.
We need prayer. Mm-hmm. We need God. We'll be back, my friends. Stand by. It's Diane. I'm Stevie Jay. It's coming up on 8 o'clock.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
What is Vice President Harris's economic plan? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. We'll find out when she goes to North Carolina today, detailing a plan that includes some tax cuts and credits for middle-class families, assistance for first-time home buyers, and as Fox's Mark Meredith reports from the White House, a plan to make groceries cheaper.
Harris wants to give the Federal Trade Commission more power to rein in what she says is price gouging. Any such expanded authority, though, would likely be challenged in court. But Harris says consumers need more protections in a post-pandemic economy. The food industry says it's being made a scapegoat and that profits are not at record levels.
Former President Trump at a news conference in New Jersey called the Harris plan communist price controls.
They don't work. They actually have the exact opposite impact and effect, but it leads to food shortages, rationing, hunger.
Talks continue today in Qatar trying to broker a ceasefire in Gaza. Hamas is not there, but
Hamas last night released a statement saying that any deal would need a complete ceasefire, a withdrawal from Gaza, a return of the hostages, a return of displaced people, and an exchange.
Fox's Alex Hogan in Tel Aviv, Israel.
We are hearing from U.S. officials that some progress has been made and that the overall framework has been agreed upon.
Israeli leaders are condemning a rampage. Jewish settlers went on last night in the West Bank wearing masks. They entered a village, fired shots, and burned homes. One Palestinian was killed, several others injured. 3 months after actor Johnny Wachter was shot dead, 4 arrests in Los Angeles.
Police say the 3 suspects are between the ages of 18 and 33 and have been charged with murder. A 4th was charged as an accessory to the crime.
Fox's Brooke Sigmund. Wachter, known for the General Hospital TV show, was shot when he came upon a group trying to steal the catalytic converter from his parked car. In North Carolina, a convicted murderer who escaped Tuesday was captured at a hotel at 2 a.m. A woman found with Ramon Alston's arrested for aiding and abetting a fugitive. America's listening.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Vice President Harris will accept the Democratic nomination next week. 8 in 10 voters in a new Fox News poll say President Biden made the right decision to let her take over as their candidate, dropping out of the race last month. As for the big issues in the campaign,
according to a Fox News poll of over 1,100 U.S. voters, 87% consider the situation at the southern border a problem, with 44% calling it an emergency, double the 22% who said the same in 2019. 38% view the economy as the top issue in the presidential election, followed by abortion and immigration, both with 14%. On foreign policy, nearly 7 in 10 say they are extremely or very concerned about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. 74% concerned about the Israel-Hamas war, up 5 points since last month, with 77% worried the conflict will escalate into a broader regional war. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
She mentioned abortion. On that issue, more voters by a 16% margin support Vice President Harris's handling of the issue, and a Texas woman who left that state to get an abortion in a very public legal battle has endorsed the vice president.
Kate Cox says she will urge others to join her in supporting the Democratic ticket.
Cox was denied an abortion by Texas law even after being told her child had a potentially fatal genetic condition. She had the procedure done in New Mexico. Texas was among the states that enforced abortion limits after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Cox said she and others who support abortion rights will vote as if their lives depend on it. Cox has been invited by the Harris-Walz campaign to speak at next week's Democratic convention in Chicago. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, after days of gains, stock futures are down more than 100 points for both the Dow and the NASDAQ. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. City of Urbana and Urbana police are offering leniency in some parking enforcements within University of Illinois move-ins. With the arrival of students, police advise drivers and pedestrians to get familiar with Urbana laws around campus. From 6A on August 18th through the 25th, their parking enforcement division will not enforce restricted areas of the campus district. Well, the family of Sonja Massey and their attorneys pushing for legislation that would strengthen Illinois Safety Act. That legislation would create a national database for police officers that would include infractions like DUIs, the measure designed to prevent the hiring of officers like former Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson, who's charged in Massey's murder. Illinois is awarding more than $5 million in loans to licensed social equity cannabis dispensaries. Through the program, 23 qualified licensed social equity dispensaries are receiving $240,000 direct forgivable loans financed by the state of Illinois. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right. Thank you, Jim. We're into our 8 o'clock hour. It is Friday. It is August 16, 2024, the year of our Lord. Here we go with our weather this morning. Brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Your premier provider for home improvements, specializing in siding, windows, doors, roofing, outdoor living. Visit KramerSiding.com. Stevie and I had talked with the Daryl Dick racer and the generations of racers at Farmer City Racing tonight. 4 generations. I'm hoping the track is okay.
Well, it rained a little bit out there in Farmer City, but I saw you, they got the 79-year-old grandfather, and then the great-grandson's 13, and he's driving.
Hudson is his name?
I think Hudson. I told the guy, the grandfather, just the grandfather who's 50-something, I said, man, my grandson, I'm probably standing down. He said, well, the other day I accidentally bumped him off the road. I said, what? He's 13, man.
I know, but that competitive nature comes out around the track.
But at some point, don't you let somebody win something?
Right.
And some people don't. But I'd have a hard time dominating a 13-year-old grandson. I just couldn't.
Yeah. Come on, pause.
I just, I remember playing golf with Nathaniel. He was 10, and I happened to be playing decently. And I might have been up a shot after 5-6 holes. I said, are you quiet? Because I might be winning. I said, Nathaniel, this is the last year I have a chance with you. He was 10, okay? But it wasn't, I always stand down for stuff like that. And that means deep down, otherwise I'm pretty competitive.
But Daryl spoke to that competitive nature. And, you're just in that zone where I'm behind the wheel and I'm hitting the gas and I'm racing.
But what does it mean? For me, it'd be like, okay, so you beat a 13-year-old. What does that prove, right? I couldn't do it. Okay. All right, so that's tonight at Farmer City Raceway. Mr. Greg Sawyer, a meteorologist. What are you looking at besides, I think overall, pretty darn good weather in August?
Yeah, I tell you, and these rains were greatly appreciated. Diane, you can call the guys, the Harms boys over there in Penfield. They do a job on the track when they do at least tractor pulls over at the I&I get-together, and over at Georgetown as well there in Southern Vermilion County. They can groom that track and get it in great shape if you need help out there coming off the rain. So
okay, good.
That is the... Okay.
Yeah, we got it.
It'll be good.
In any event, back to the matters at hand here. Rainfall amounts to trickling into the weather office here. You get a little northeast of Farmer City, maybe out towards Fisher. A little north of there, they had an inch and almost a half in the gauge. Bloomington, normal area, 142. A little southeast, over at the water survey, 115 in the gauge there. An inch and a tenth, I believe, over at the airport. Over at Danville, their dam site locale at 144. And as far south as Lake Shelbyville, over an inch of rain down there. So everybody in good shape. Those showers and thunderstorms now east and southeast of Indianapolis. Some flood advisories down near the Ohio. And they need rain across Ohio. That's the worst area of corn and soybean development and condition. Well, back this way, 70 Willard and Savoy. Later on today, we'll top out at around 85 humidity in the air. We may breed a shower thunderstorm in that moisture-laden air mass this afternoon and this evening. Lows tonight down to 67. And again, may bubble up a stray shower thunderstorm in the afternoon hours, iffy at best tomorrow and Sunday afternoon. 82 tomorrow, 79 on Sunday. Nice weather next week. Upper 70s Monday and Tuesday. Low 80s Wednesday through Friday. Dry weather for the work week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solke.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. It is 10 after 8, ESPN 93.5. We talk about, somebody texted in that, all the Republicans have are fear-mongering. At what point is it legitimate to say, I'm afraid? I'm certainly afraid of the policies of this administration. I think they have gone south in every case. You can argue whatever you want, but the fact of the matter is it's very hard to buy meat. It's very hard to fill your tank with gas. It's just hard to buy a house. How can you buy a house at 7% with a mortgage and then you don't have any down payment money? How can you buy anything when your credit cards are maxed out at 30% interest? Mm-hmm. That's going on every single day. So the people are feeling the stress, the pressure of this kind of weight of, oh my gosh, I can't afford that and I have no way to buy it. Mm-hmm. When your credit cards are maxed out, you're kind of eeny, meeny, miny, mo, hoping one works. This is a bad place to be. I think everybody's hesitant and a little nervous. So if you extend these policies, and there's no reason to believe she won't, except I think she's more liberal than Joe Biden pretended to be. I don't think Joe Biden was ever a leftist. He became one in the last 3 years because that's kind of was the platform. We're going to get you in, and this is what you're going to do. And I think he mentally hasn't been great and not very good from the beginning, but certainly gotten worse as it's gone on. But there's some strained relationships going on, and there's some crazy things going on. I think it's crazy that you would allow a child to change their sex. I think that's absolutely mentally ill and crazy. And for you to endorse something like that, you're either evil or mentally ill. That's just what I believe. It's my opinion. And then at some point you'd say, okay, so what would make anybody say that's enough? No way, we're not doing that. How about a 12-year-old being forced to marry a 60-year-old? That happened, I don't know, India, Pakistan, wherever I saw the video. She's crying, she's 12. Would that make you say, no way, not here? Or not? Maybe not. There'd be people that probably be all for that. I'm saying everybody has their own line.
Yeah.
And I think it just, at some point you're going, wait a minute, you put up with this, I can kind of see that, and I can see that. Then all of a sudden you go, this is just wrong. We have to have right and wrong, good and bad. There is good and evil in our world. And I think that everybody's got a different edge of where you're going to go to where you say, you're going to stop the car right now if you do anything.
That's right.
That's what we're not there yet. And a lot of Americans are, but I don't know, frankly, some of the people that are struggling in a lot of different ways, you can say mental illness, they would probably accept everything. And that's not the rule book I follow. I follow the Bible, and the Bible and the New Testament talks about we're trying to love people, love God, we're trying to be compassionate people with empathy to help others that are in need, those kinds of, America's been very good at that. But then when you're talking down to the rules, are we going to have rules where you can do this and you can't do this? Well, why would you have that? Well, because you'll have chaos, and you have people coming to take your stuff, and that's stealing. That's a 10 commandment.
Right.
So what point do you say, okay, I'm done, this is not right?
So other comments besides that about running on fear is Republicans are absolutely frightened by this ticket. They have nothing to resort to but personal attacks.
I think it's fair to swap out ideas. I think it's fair to say Kamala Harris is a very far left person. Maybe that's what you are. That's fine. You can vote how you'd like. But with some of the policy that says, okay, we're going to let everybody in. And if I try and put it down to a personal level, if I took the front door off of your house, how would that be different in a small way of taking the rules off the border of America? And so you would say, I wouldn't let my front door be taken off because I don't know who would come in and hurt my family. In a big sense, that's what we're doing in America. We're letting anybody in, and there's some wonderful people that are trying to have a better life.
Absolutely.
And then there's some
who are going through the proper path.
And there's gang members and murderers and rapists that are coming in every single day. So that's wrong, right?
And drug dealers.
But that's not right, correct? Could we agree that because we don't vet them and because we'll never see them again, that's probably not a great idea? By way of an example is all the crime and the things you've seen in headlines over the last 6 months. Murder, illegal immigrant. It happens too often. And so I would suggest that's a bad idea.
So then there's a comment that Kamala could solve every issue in the world, and you'd never vote for her because there's a D next to her
I
name.
voted for a Democrat for governor in the state of Illinois once. I did not vote for George Ryan, so that's not accurate. I think that everybody's, I'll vote for the person. Well, you need to vote for policy, and the policies right now are bad, and if we extend them, it'll get worse. So there's a lot of businesses, the small guys. Johnny said the bigger people are going to be fine. They just evolved. They got so much money. The small mom and pop, how do you survive mom and pop? It's a struggle. It really is. So if you're not tuned into it, tune into it. Try and be as objective as you can. But it's just that this group of folks are so far out there. I cannot imagine a far left ticket like this, that they'll paintball you on your porch, that they'll put up a hotline so you can call on your neighbor who's on their porch with no mask. That's what Tim Walz did. That's the vice president. That, to me, is worth looking at. It really is. All right, quarter after, 217-359-2255.
And the Yahoo headline says Harris blames price gouging for inflation.
I just disagree. I don't think that's accurate. I mean, you can look at pharmaceuticals. I think they probably charge too much for some drugs. But they're not going to do that.
That was the headline yesterday, is they're working on that, huh?
Well, not for the big lobbies and the big money, because they all accept money from them. So I think that you've got that problem. I think the thing that would make us better by 2045 would be term limits. But it will take that long. But if you get term limits in America...
But your grandfather clausing in the people who are in, so they could actually make
why wouldn't you
some
vote
movement on that.
If you're going to get 75% of the people for it, why wouldn't you allow them to vote on that?
Right.
Because you're taking out your own power. Listen, there's a lot of Republicans and Democrats in on this thing where you got this power and money. Why would you want it to end? Trump came in and was a disruptor. You can't do that. You can't say that. You don't do that in this town. And he did, and see what happened to him. Been pretty rough ride, but again, we will see, my friends. 8:16 sports headlines.
Here's a headline that says Patriots rookie Drake May shows more potential against the Eagles. Eagles on top 14-13 over New England in preseason NFL action yesterday. We'll have Cincinnati taking on the Chicago Bears tomorrow at noon over on Q96. That Arizona-Indianapolis Colts game for the preseason is at 6 o'clock tomorrow over in Indy. Got some friends going to check that out. We've got baseball, of course, here on ESPN 93.5. The LA Dodgers and St. Louis Cardinals will play 7:15 tonight, 6:15 tomorrow, and I believe it's a 1:15 game for Sunday. And Toronto will be facing the Cubs at Wrigley with a 1:20 start. Chicago White Sox are in Houston with a 7:10 start.
Okay, congratulations, Busey, recognized among the world's best banks and America's best banks for 2024 by Forbes. This is the first time Busey's been named among the world's best banks, and the third consecutive year the organization has received the America's Best Bank honors. In addition, Busey also honored to be recognized as an Illinois best place to work, in Florida among the best companies to work for, and in Indiana as the best place to work. Pretty good, huh? Busey Wealth Management also has been named to Pensions and Investments Best Places to Work and Money Management list, and the organization was named among the best banks to work for in the U.S. by American Banker. These accolades continue to come for Busey. From exceeding the needs of customers and colleagues to serving our communities, Busey associates have shown unmatched dedication to our pillars for more than 155 years. It's true. It started a year after Illinois. There was a horse and mud, and the drive-thru didn't work. Same thing. I'm just kidding. 800-67-BUSEY. Go to Busey.com to learn more. For over 155 years. Busey, member FDIC.
I was just poking around on some sports stuff. So many people are getting in the zone on their fantasy football. And you got?
My draft is coming up.
Okay.
And I don't really have a clue.
I haven't done that before, but I know people are watching a lot of these storylines, seeing who's healthy and who's got some good stats.
Yep. You go for running backs that can run and catch and score touchdowns. Quarterbacks go late in the draft, believe it or not. It depends on the system you're in, too. But no, it's... Find on Sunday you're rooting for jerseys for different teams.
That's right.
Not team.
The players.
Yeah, that's why you get split screen with 8 things like you do at Buffalo Wild Wings so you can watch all of them. All right, we check our weather. Our meteorologist is Greg Solier here on ESPN 93.5. It is coming up on 8:19. Fox Business is next.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Welcome rain in the overnight hours, leaving 3/4 as much as an inch and a third of rain in area rain gauges. That activity off to the east and southeast, but an approaching cool front, some cooling up along should generate a couple of more outbreaks in spots this morning, later this morning, and again this afternoon. And the same will apply for the weekend. Not a complete wash by any means, but maybe a little hit-miss rainfall over the afternoon hours. Then dry weather ahead and comfortable temperatures for next week. Up to 85 today, somewhat humid, southwest wind and a partly sunny sky. And again, a couple of showers, thunderstorms breaking out, particularly as we move on through the afternoon. That'll linger into early on tonight. Fair in the overnight, down to 67. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow and Sunday, too. Again, the afternoon features a stray shower thunderstorm. 82 tomorrow. 60s tomorrow night will cool to 79 on Sunday. Dry weather next week at 77 to 78 degrees Monday and Tuesday. Up near 80 Wednesday. Lower 80s for next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report. Home building slumped last month. Housing starts, which is groundbreakings for new homes, declined 6.8%, and building permits for future construction dropped 4%. Mortgage rates have moderated since July, and building was likely impacted by Hurricane Beryl. However, the numbers are even weaker than economists were predicting. There could be another offer for Paramount Global's parent company, National Amusements. It's allowed to review other possible offers until August 21st. The Wall Street Journal says investor Edgar Bronfman is preparing a bid. Flowers Foods, the maker of Dave's Killer Bread, Tasty Cake, and Wonder Bread, reported an upbeat quarter and says it is continuing to see people eating at home, which has demand holding up. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey there, it's me, Kennedy. Make sure to check out my podcast, Kennedy Saves the World. It is 5 days a week. Every week, we check in with Jimmy Fallon, bring in authors for the book club, and even treat some of your favorite Fox personalities to a very special happy hour. Download and listen at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Kennedy Saves the World. America's listening to Fox News.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Love calzones? Jet's Pizza in Champaign is offering their calzone-style boats for just $8.99. Available online only at jetspizza.com with code C1. All of their boats typically feed 2 people. Just apply coupon code C1 at checkout to take advantage of the deal. Your deli boat of choice or one-topping jet boat for $8.99. Pickup or delivery. Jets. Better because it has to be.
Why use Lands Underground Solutions? We have the team, the technology, the tools, and the most experienced team in the industry. From a basic sewer pipe repair to replacing a sewer main, installing a water line to installing a septic system, installing underground utilities for a new construction project to rehabilitating the old pipes under a school. Lands has the most versatile and experienced team in the industry. Residential, commercial, and industrial, when it comes to your underground pipes, think Lands Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Racing, racing, racing. Friday Night Lights at Farmer City Raceway is a blast. Only $15 admission and kids 12 and under are free. This Friday, August 16th, there'll be Big Daddy Scrap late models, Dyer's Top Rods mods, plus a full show. Head to 850 Grove Street in Farmer City with hot laps at 6:30. Details at farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Okay, so we welcome back University of Illinois. This is the full-fledged, this is the big weekend. Here they are. They're pulling in, they're pulling out. They've laxed some of the parking things while your blinkers are on and you pile out and you do all that. And hopefully you don't have a U-Haul because that's harder. You just got to pull the ramp out. You got to get it up and down. Then you got to get it up 3 flights and the elevator's busy and you got to go wait on the elevator and yeah, that's just part of it, and you're sweating, and okay.
Well, I think they got everything worked out, but there was a blip early on about is there enough housing for some of these incoming students?
Yeah, I don't know how they essentially lost count, right? Because they had to offer an incentive for a student to back out of their deal.
Right.
But then where were they going to go?
I know.
So, I mean, what's an apartment on campus? I mean, it's going to be between $800 and $2,400, right? I mean, they're all kinds of ranges. You get a high riser and you're single in your room, it's going to be $1,500 at least. At least. At $1,500 a month.
I know.
That doesn't count any food now.
That's right.
It's a lot. So, yeah, the whole student loan thing and yeah.
Yeah, speaking of the economy, got a text in about my family makes 10% more than we did 5 years ago. And if things don't change, we'll be tapped out of any savings we had. It's that simple.
Well, and I think there are more people than you know that are faced every day with decisions on how I'm going to pay for Aldi. Really. Because that one credit card doesn't work. Last time it was declined. I mean, it's just, it is just something to keep in mind that there are a lot of middle-class people that are really pinched and they're trying to hang in there and trying to still do some sort of a vacation. They tried this summer and maybe a staycation, something that was more affordable. So it's uncomfortable and we're all a little concerned about it. And I think that's where everybody is trying to figure out how to afford stuff. And generally speaking, most elections do depend on the pocketbook.
Yeah.
If things aren't good financially, Ronald Reagan in 1984 famously said, "Are you better off than you were 4 years ago?" And the answer was absolutely. He won re-election. So in this case, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? The answer is no. Now, we had COVID to deal with, and we came out of the remnants of COVID for a lot of that 20 to 24 pace here. But it's Afghanistan, for whatever reason, hurts me more than, I don't know, I have nobody involved, anything at all, but just to allow our guys to die. 13 of them died at that gate.
Yeah.
And the way we got out and gave up Bagram Air Force Base.
Right.
Bagram is a massive Air Force base. We could have still been there and had a presence. Guess who controls it now? It's China. China has them. They have my base. What the heck? So that and what probably the worst is that we left people that trusted me.
Yep.
And I didn't take care of my interpreter because I just had to go.
Yeah.
How bad was that? It was so bad. That started the whole F Joe Biden thing and then let's go Brandon thing.
Yep.
That emanated from liberal college campuses, by the way. So we're not the only ones that said, man, that Afghanistan was absolutely the worst it could be. Terrible how we did that.
But back to the text at 359-2255 talking about how tight it is. I was just looking over a news release about September quickly approaching. It's Hunger Action Month for Eastern Illinois Food Bank, and their food pantries are currently serving 90% more people than in 2022.
Well, if you see where they're distributing food, the line of cars in Champaign-Urbana is shocking.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you have to show them something that you qualify or they just go on your word. You get boxes of food. It helped with the feeding the family. And I think a lot of people are there. And it's just unbelievable. All right, we have to do better.
Yep.
All right, it is 8:29. Another segment to go before we're out of here on this beautiful Friday morning from Philo, Illinois, ESPN 93.5.
Your number one sports bar and grill is Pia's. Head to 1609 West Springfield Avenue to watch all your favorite sports teams play on the big screen TVs as you enjoy great drink specials and the famous 10-ounce Slugger Burger. With the slot machines, darts, video, golf, and outdoor beer garden, meet your friends at Pia's since 1975. Open mornings at 7 a.m., Sundays at 8. See you at Pia's.
This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. Today, Vice President Kamala Harris heads to North Carolina for her first policy speech since announcing her run for president, focusing on the economy.
Per the New York Times, the economic plan she'll release today will be, quote, relatively light on details. One of the details we do know, Harris is set to announce a proposal to impose a federal ban on price gouging on food and groceries.
Fox's Madeline Rivera, former President Trump, slammed the idea at a news conference yesterday.
She's running on the Maduro plan. We call it the Maduro plan, like something straight out of Venezuela or the Soviet Union.
All eyes are on Qatar.
That's where the U.S., Egypt, and Qatar are working on a ceasefire deal, the release of the remaining 115 hostages, and preventing a regional war. With an Israeli delegation physically there, President Biden downplayed Hamas's absence.
Fox's Jeff Paul, America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, the family of Sonda Massey and their attorneys pushing for legislation that would strengthen Illinois Safety Act. That legislation would create a national database for police officers that would include infractions like DUIs, the measure designed to prevent the hiring of officers like former Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson, who's charged in Massey's murder. Illinois is awarding more than $5 million in loans to licensed social equity cannabis dispensaries through the program. 23 qualified licensed social equity dispensaries are receiving $240,000 direct forgivable loans financed by the state of Illinois. City of Urbana and Urbana police are offering leniency in some parking enforcements within University of Illinois move-ins. With the arrival of students, police advise drivers and pedestrians to get familiar with Urbana laws around campus. From 6A on August 18th through the 25th, their parking enforcement division will not enforce restricted areas of the campus district. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Your favorite Mexican restaurant, El Toro on West Springfield in Champaign, is still open 7 days a week despite the construction on West Springfield. If you're craving those mouth-watering Mexican dishes, just enter from the east. When you see the barricade at Springfield and Kenwood, look for their special driveway. It'll guide you straight to El Toro. El Toro will be serving up your favorites all through the construction for the next 5 months. Open daily and ready to welcome you. El Toro, your destination for authentic Mexican cuisine, even during construction.
Are you looking to get the most for your money? If not, you should be. A free rewards checking account from Fisher National Bank gives you access to their Reward Saver, which earns you an exceptional annual percentage that really increases your earnings potential. No monthly service fees or minimum balance required. When you're ready to make the most of your money, switch to Rewards Checking and Reward Saver from Fisher National. See monthly requirements at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather-free Central Illinois, Champaign Urbana this Saturday. Welcome rain in the overnight hours, leaving 3/4 as much as 1 1/3 inches of rain in area rain gauges. That activity off to the east and southeast, but an approaching cool front, some cooling up along should generate a couple of more outbreaks in spots this morning, later this morning, and again this afternoon. And the same will apply for the weekend. Not a complete wash by any means, but maybe a little hit-miss rainfall over the afternoon hours. Then dry weather ahead and comfortable temperatures for next week. Up to 85 today, somewhat humid, southwest wind and a partly sunny sky. And again, a couple of showers, thunderstorms breaking out, particularly as we move on through the afternoon. That'll linger into early on tonight. Fair in the overnight, down to 67. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow and Sunday too. Again, the afternoon features a stray shower thunderstorm. 82 tomorrow. 60s tomorrow night will cool to 79 on Sunday. Dry weather next week at 77 to 78 degrees Monday and Tuesday. Up near 80 Wednesday. Lower 80s for next Thursday and Friday. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Weatherman. It's 25 before 9 o'clock. I am Stevie Jay. That is Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
So we got, for the first time ever, we have digital tickets for Illinois football.
Oh, good.
It is all here on my phone.
Okay, so if we do giveaways, we get people's email and we just send it to their email and then they can bring it up when they're heading into Memorial Stadium, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to send these. I got them.
Okay.
But I don't know how.
And I think when my brother Michael treated all of us to Gary's 70th birthday party, we had to download the MLB app or something and switch it over to our digital wallet and pull it up.
I got it in my digital wallet.
Okay.
I'm just not at this minute because I didn't practice. I don't know how to send it. But I got them.
Okay.
So we have tickets we'll be giving away for Illinois football, but this is the first time they've gone all digital. And then I have here East Main, Section 107, Row 51, Seat 12 for the Illini game against Eastern Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
This will magically say Kansas after the game. The seats will be the same, but the opponent will change automatically.
Okay.
So it'll be, I don't have to have, okay, this is the Eastern game. No, they switch, I think.
Okay.
All new here.
Yes.
People are grumbling about 8 p.m. And we'll get over it. But there are people, not just me, that's saying, gosh, it's a school night.
And it's going into your Labor Day holiday weekend, so are people going to pass on working on Friday?
If you take Friday off, you're good. Because, I mean, you're going to get out of there about midnight.
Right.
And then you're supposed to go to work by, 7? Whatever it is.
Right.
For us, it's going to be earlier. I mean, I'm obviously going to watch the ball game. I'm going to probably go. I don't know if I'm going to make the end.
Right.
Because if
I like to at least stay through halftime because I love the halftime show.
Again, hopefully it's a game where we don't have to get all tense. But if you are involved in a back and forth kind of a thing, then you can't sleep after the game.
Right, I know.
Pretty keyed up. So anyway, we're big boys. We can handle a late night. We can do it, but it is we'll see what kind of. The question is, will the crowd come?
Right.
Because we need a good crowd.
We do.
Kansas should be a loaded crowd. It's a 6 o'clock or 6:30. That's going to have a lot of people on a Saturday night against Kansas, who's a really good team, ranked 22. And they're coming in, so that'll be interesting. Then we just got so many different times. The 11 a.m., I think Central Michigan's week 3. That's homecoming.
Right.
So don't we have all kinds of parading and things like that we're doing? Is the parade still Saturday morning again?
No, because of the 11 a.m. start. They're doing the Friday, which is the 13th.
Okay. And remember, some of those parades have been cold.
I know.
Not September 14th.
Not September 14th. And to be in the Greek system, to put together your float, I mean, you're still rushing some of your new members inside the first 2 weeks of school, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they have to hustle up on that and nominate the homecoming court and all of that. Wow. It is really a quick turnaround. A lot of people were talking about that and didn't realize the October 19th 100th anniversary game that has the big spotlight with Illinois versus Michigan. And that's kind of why, in my mind, homecoming got bumped to early September.
Well, there'll be a lot of things. You'll probably want to be at the Michigan game, and we're just hoping that by that point we're still in a bowl hunt and we're doing well, maybe better than that kind of thing. Because you come in with Michigan, there's going to be an absolute electricity in that game. Those uniforms, everything else, all the hype, 100 years, Red Grange, all of that. I think we'll have a crowd that's ready for an upset. But I mean, we're going to be a double-digit underdog at home against Michigan, I would sure think. So
Right.
it's a big-time opponent. By the way, if you have trouble, they got people at the U of I that can answer all your questions about your
For sure. And if you go to fightingillini.com, which I just did, you can look at some of the premium seating and some of the horseshoe and east balcony seats that I think are still like $15 for that Eastern game. And a lot of the students are getting a deal right now. And if they move before a certain date, they can be in the running to win the Eras Tour, Taylor Swift. Yeah, exactly. In November, that happens over in Indianapolis. I was just looking at our section 107, and I feel like that's just under the awning there too. So typically you are in the shade. So we'll be giving some pairs away at Pia's at 1609 West Springfield Avenue when we do our broadcast just before the game, which will be on Wednesday, August 28th.
Well, we're going to be there.
Is just sinking in of, our technology and our setup and our giveaways.
You're giving away tickets. I can show you the ticket. Right. It's on my phone. There has to be. I wonder if I could snap a picture. And text it. Does that work? I mean, the QR code's QR code.
Right.
They scan the QR code, and that doesn't change if you take a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they take a picture and somebody else has used it, obviously it doesn't work, right? I mean, we're going to be scanned once. Anyway, we're learning together, boys and girls. When they send you tickets digitally, it has a whole bunch of instructions. Like, click on this to get more on. So somewhere in that, my link that, of course, didn't have time to look at, there'll be a way for me to send these.
Well, and of course, to have your game face on, we'll be visiting with Cassie Arner just ahead of the game. And she's one of our event planners on all of these games, the promotions. And remember, there was one year where people were kind of bottlenecking to get in. And there's more ticket places now. And they've opened some different things up. And I feel like the sun was shining and glaring on people's phones. And they weren't able to see. And all these little snafus that you don't realize going into that first game. Well, she's got, has learned from various experiences, and she's got a good plan.
Back in the 80s, just think about this. I mean, 80s aren't that far. You remember the 80s pretty well. Back in the 1980s, if somebody would have said, "Are you looking for tickets?" Yeah. Where are they? Well, they're in your phone. What phone? We didn't have any phones. But we didn't get a phone. I mean, the big old construction, mobile phone came in about 1999.
That was like the size of a shoebox.
It was heavy.
Mm-hmm.
We gave one away on the air, and everybody wanted it. But you needed two hands to hold that bad boy.
I remember when I had the permanent thing in my car to hold my phone.
It's a bag phone. Right?
Well, and for me, I had the holder where my phone, it was kind of like a walkie-talkie
Well, remember you had to go get installed the antenna in the back on your window so that you could have a cell phone. And if you had one of those babies, you were cooking because I have a bag phone.
Right. But even then, the bill that if you made a long distance call and all this other stuff, it was like you only really used the phone if it was an emergency.
But then we got to feeling I can go out on my porch with no wires and talk to you.
Yes, I know.
I mean, it's a remarkable deal, the evolution of it's on your phone, it's in your wallet.
Well,
no, my wallet's in my pocket. I don't know what you're talking about. No, it's on your phone. What phone?
Right.
It's just, you just get into the 1980s lingo and how did we do everything?
We did that Quantum Leap show about getting into something.
I used to get all these yellow, they were pink at the time, the messages that you could write down who called and what their number was. I had stacks of those. It's just, remember cassette tapes? That wasn't that long ago.
Cassette tapes, I've heard, are still a thing. And I have a cassette player in my car.
Well, I would say we're probably in a rare air here. How many people have a cassette player in their car?
Well, I know I'm probably rare, but I have all these air checks from back in the day, starting in radio in '89.
Who has a CD player in their car?
I do.
Besides
and
Diane,
I used it for my Milwaukee road trip, and I had a kind of a mixtape of sorts. And I did what I call redneck Uber because nobody's paying, and I'm fun, and I'm playing everybody's favorite songs. And I was DJing in the car when I was picking people up in Milwaukee, and we had a blast.
Well, listen,
they're like you're queuing up a CD,
and
Diane.
You don't have a car payment, so there.
That's right.
That's huge. But I'm curious, because CD players are kind of gone now too.
You're right.
Okay, 8:44, sports headlines in a minute.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
If you're looking for a great job, Spring Green is looking for you. Full-time, benefits and overtime, outside all day, work independently. How about full health insurance and a chance at matching funds for your 401k? Yes, Spring Green, your neighborhood lawn care team, serving all over Central Illinois. It's a great job, and if you're interested, connect with S. Imke, S-I-M-M-K-E at spring-green.net. S-Imke at spring-green.net. When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
All right, it is 8:46. Diane has a sports headline or two.
The Dodgers are in Busch Stadium. There's some fun giveaways in case you want to check out our St. Louis Cardinals in action. That's a 7:15 start here on ESPN 93.5. I've got some family members going to that game. Toronto is in Wrigley to take on the Cubs with a 1:20 start both today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Chicago White Sox are in Houston. They've got a road trip going, and Houston is where they'll start, 7:10 against the Astros. We also had Christian Yelich. I guess he's having some back surgery. I don't know if you had heard about that. That's trending in MLB action. Illinois soccer over Wright State 6-0 in the first game of the season. Go Illini, gearing up for that EIU game August 29th with an 8 o'clock kickoff. That's a Thursday night. Stevie and I were just talking about all of that. Illinois golfers are trending. Jackson Buchanan in the quarterfinals of the U.S. Amateur. And it looks like also qualifying in the Corn Ferry, Brian Campbell has been golfing well.
A lot of people making a little coin out there with Illinois golf and Mike Small's program, but Jackson Buchanan is the current player. So to him make the final 8, that's good.
Exactly.
I mean, that's I saw a shot he made yesterday and did the old twirl. If it's really good, you kind of twirl your club. It's pretty cool.
Oh.
And he got it within 8 or 10 feet. It was just beautiful. It kind of hit 2 feet from the hole and then spun back. But, yeah, Jackson Buchanan's a big timer. Maybe he'll win the U.S. Amateur.
Preseason NFL action. Philadelphia beat New England 14-13 yesterday. Cincinnati's in Soldier Field to take on the Bears.
On Q96 tomorrow, 10 a.m. pregame, noon kickoff. The Bears are undefeated and untied since we picked them up. Let's go.
Go Bears.
Come on. All right, weather coming up.
A slap of the bat, high fives at the plate. They're all celebrated at Pia's Sports Bar and Grill after the game. Super beer specials, great drinks, big screen TVs, and fun food all await you at Pia's. Whether it be Pia's delicious wings, the big pork tenderloin, or Pia's famous Grand Slam or Slugger Burger, you'll find all your favorites available until 11 p.m. Chill out at Pia's in the beer garden and enjoy being served by a great staff. See you at Pia's, Springfield and Mattis, Champaign.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Jesse Woodlands.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, and this Saturday. As expected, overnight showers and thunderstorms, leaving 3/4 to as much as 1/3 of rain in the gauge. That activity across Indiana. Still a little instability making its way across the area this morning. Again, this afternoon, ahead of a weak cool front that will ultimately drop temperature and humidity levels back down, but not before a couple of outbreaks of moisture in spots for the weekend. Again, a shower thunderstorm chance back in this afternoon as well. Partly sunny, somewhat humid, 85 and a southwest wind. Isolated shower thunderstorm chance this evening, becoming fair in the overnight down to 67. And tomorrow and Sunday, partly sunny skies. Again, for the afternoon, can't rule out a stray shower thunderstorm. 82 tomorrow, 64 tomorrow night. The Sunday high cools to 79. Upper 70s with sunshine back in. Dry weather, comfortable humidity Monday and Tuesday. Up near 80 on Wednesday. Into the lower 80s next Thursday and Friday. And much of the work week next week is high and dry. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Beat Olshus, Greg Solgay.
Very happy and honored to have Dr. Abraham Cultural Cardiac Electrophysiology, OSF, Heart of Mary in Urbana. What is AFib?
Yeah, so atrial fibrillation is a heart rhythm disorder, and it's actually the most common heart rhythm disorder that needs treatment. So about 6 million Americans have it currently, and it's expected to increase to about 15 million by 2050. So it's a growing problem. There are lots of things that lead to atrial fibrillation, and this includes diseases like diabetes and hypertension, sleep apnea. Other factors that lead to it are an excessive alcohol and tobacco use, being overweight or obese, and being sedentary. You know, generally it's an older person's disease. Generally, if you have other heart conditions, it's worth looking for. So that there's a condition called heart failure, which commonly is associated with atrial fibrillation. So hopefully, if you have one of those conditions, those patients are being seen by a cardiologist, and that cardiologist is paying attention to the heart rhythm and keeping an eye on things to look for the development of atrial fibrillation.
To learn more, visit osfhealthcare.org.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Jesse with Lands Underground Solutions. Did you know we specialize in underground sewer, water, and drainage pipes? We install and repair the water lines coming in your house or building and the sewer and septic lines leaving your house. From water lines, sewer lines, or drain lines, or even your septic system, Lands Underground has the solution for your problem. Residential, commercial, and industrial, Lands Underground has a solution for you. Lands Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
All right, we'll be all over the Democratic National Convention, which is Monday in Chicago. They'll be there this weekend moving in.
Right.
And we'll see how it goes. I think Kamala Harris does a very good job with the teleprompter.
Right. She'll be on Thursday night, I believe.
Tim Walz will be on Wednesday. Joe Biden has been pushed to Monday, and get him out.
J.B. Pritzker, President Obama.
Is J.B. speaking? It is his town, man.
Yep.
It's Chicago, and he's the governor of Illinois.
Durbin's on the list.
Wow. And those guys will get a shorter period. JB probably get a little longer. He's positioning for 28, of course.
Okay.
And so is Gavin Newsom's got to be on there somewhere, too. So, and Gretchen Whitmer. I mean, the ones that are supposed to tee it up for 28,
right?
They'll be there. And Kamala's going to want 2 terms, right? So you got that. Got that going for you. All right. Thank you, Diane. We'll meet on Monday.
Enjoy the weekend.
That is Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the weekend weather. Get your stuff done. Have fun. Enjoy. Boys are on this afternoon after 3 o'clock on The Drive. Derek Piper and Lonte. Thank you for listening. I'm Stevie J. Have a blessed weekend.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Does your bank keep rewards just out of reach? Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. While some banks save their reward programs for a select few, here at Fisher National, we offer free rewards checking to all of our customers. We are trying to reward you for the things you do every day. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive a statement electronically, and have at least one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's as easy as that. Rewards checking includes excellent 2.0 annual percentage yield for balances up to $20,000 and ATM refunds up to $20. Oh, and no minimum balance is required. Free rewards checking from Fisher National Bank. Rewards within reach and service beyond. See monthly requirements at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches today. Our team looks forward to serving you.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
The free 20th annual Meadowbrook Park Jazz Walk is September 6th. The walk runs from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. in the Wandell Sculpture Garden. Enjoy jazz ensemble music at various stations in the most unique setting around. Enter Meadowbrook Park off Race Street and get ready for a fantastic evening of jazz music and public art. Go to urbanaparks.org for details. The Meadowbrook Park Jazz Walk on September 6th. Urbana Park District. You belong here.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
If you're in the market for a new car battery, you could go to one of those big box stores, except there's no guarantee you'll be served by an actual car expert.
Clean up in aisle 3.
You could pick a battery off the shelf, except it might be close to expiring. Or you could just come into Interstate. Don't make a big box store blunder. With competitive prices and a more personal, reliable approach, Interstate Batteries is the clear-cut choice if you want to guarantee yourself a new and trustworthy car battery. They're open and ready to serve you at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign.
Racing, racing, racing. Friday Night Lights at Farmer City Raceway is a blast. Only $15 admission and kids 12 and under are free. This Friday, August 16th, there'll be Big Daddy Scrap late models, Dyer's Top Rods mods, plus a full show. Head to 850 Grove Street in Farmer City with hot laps at 6:30. Details at farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you'd do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Solar companies are on the rise, here today and gone tomorrow. Rector Solar and Roofing family roots back 4 generations, living and working in Central Illinois, with the goal to take the confusion out of replacing a roof or adding solar panels to your home or business. With all the incentives and rebates now available, solar is more affordable than ever. Let a knowledgeable representative take the worry and guesswork out of solar and get a free quote. Discover the Rector Factor for solar. Call 217-281-7000 or visit rectorsolar.com.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.